the magic trick is actually that you reveal the texture by adding paint on top of it.
Okay.
Because right now it's all like just a white kind of mess, I would say. So I like to use acrylic paints with this technique, and I would need a brush. If you could hand me over a brush, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much, Christy. And then I have picked some soft body paints. These are just happen to be some of my favorite colors. So I made the choice for you. If you don't like them,
I can work with that. I can work with that.
So I would always recommend to use either colors that are very close to each other in the family or will mix well. So if you have complementary colors like, for example, red and green, because we are mixing the colors on the textured canvas, it would get brown. If you don't like brown, then that is not a good choice. So something that's similar. You can either, well, you know, oftentimes people say you should put the paint on the palette and then pick it up from there. But as you might have noticed in this video already, I always tell you that I do not do as I do. I do things differently, and that's fine too. So I spurt it right onto the canvas. But if you want to have more control, then put it on the palette and pick it up with your brush, and that's fine too. So I'm just taking some of those paints, and I'm going over and I'm starting painting, and I can do this light, I can do this a little bit more, harsher, and I kind of blend the colors with each other and mix them here and there, and I'm just starting to apply them. And I want to work not too slow. That's why I gave Christy a smaller canvas.
I'm not sure what the implication is, but
I'm
okay.
just making,
I know.
I'm sorry. I'm teasing her. She's amazing. So I don't want to have the paint dry too fast because I am going to apply a technique. So I'm going to stop for now. I can still apply more paint later on. I want to show you a speckle technique that I really love. But you can also already see how the texture gets revealed with this paint here. So what I love to do oftentimes is I love to use a water mister, and the trick with this technique is not to spray it right onto the canvas. You want to spray the water into a puddle of water into your hand and then flick it onto your canvas, and that gives some really nice big water drops. It also gives water drops on your wardrobe, but that's fine, it's just water, right? And just flick the water on here. And what happens is wherever the water hit the surface and is the paint, it changes the surface of your paint, and wherever the water is, it will dry slower where there is just the paint. So what I'm going to do now, right now it's really hard to see where my water drops are. And,
right.
You know, I can see you don't have that many water drops kind of in the light. Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is we start drying it, and we be very careful. Here is the paint, which is dry now, but here is still a water drop, which is where I put the water drop on, and that's not dry yet. So what you're doing is you kind of tilt the canvas for yourself and kind of look, okay, I start to see paint started to dry, but there's still wet water drops on top of it. So you don't want to dry it thoroughly. You want those water drops to still be wet, but wherever no water drops hit the surface, the paint will dry, right?
And so why do we not want that water to dry? What do we want to do?
Because we're going to lift it off. So I'm going to take
the paint off. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to because so now there the paint is not dried. I'm taking this. You can take a rag or in this case a paper towel. And I'm taking that and I'm taking off the paint wherever the water drops fall on, and what it gives a nice speckle effect, and because the white is then still showing through, it actually gives more dimension and texture.